Hey all, I am so incredibly tired after having been up for at least 24 hours. You don't even know. Excuse me if I end up mumbling because of that or talking too fast because I'm going to have a hell of a time getting this video done in under 10 minutes. I didn't want to do a card review today, and at this point I really don't have the energy to make something like a Beyond the Basics video, so I figured I'd share the deck list that I was tinkering around with for most of the morning hours. Considering the show must go on, as they say. Don't be surprised when you see some OCG stuff in here, since a lot of it is on its way to the TCG, hence why I'm testing it. Without further ado, the deck. 18 monsters, 2 Morphtronic Radiant. He's the Morphtronic Solidarity on legs, really essential, but drawing multiples of him kinda sucks, and he's not a machine, so 2 seems like a good number for him. 3 Morphtronic Boomboxin. He's the key attacker of the deck. Buffing him really drives home the damage, and that's awesome. His defense position effect can actually help a lot too. Like if you pull him off of Self-On, put him in defense position, he can defend your field for a turn before trying to OTK on the next, so you're not so stressed out to do it all at once. 3 Morphtronic Borden. I don't particularly like Borden, but he's here because he has good properties. He's a good first turn set. He's an Earth level 3 non-tuner. He makes machine duplications suck less. So, yeah. Oh, 1 card trooper, accelerates the deck, replaces itself. More attack than any given Morphtronic, at least on my turn. So he's a good guy to have here. Sets up combos. 3 Morphtronic Remoten. He's the tuner of choice. He pulls out more cards. He can be duped. He can make a lot of crazy crap go down. Needless to say. 3 Morphtronic Self-On. The cornerstone of the deck. He makes everything go. The deck is dedicated to getting him out as soon as possible and spamming advantage off of him, because Self-On is amazing. 1 Morphtronic Scopin. Scopin kinda sucks, to be honest. I'm still running 1 for that toolbox factor. He can help Swarm sometimes. The variable level does help sometimes. It's a light tuner, so he opens up more extra deck options, but he sucks in multiples, so 1 is fine. 1 Morphing Jar for some added draw power, dumping power. It's not optimal, but it's pretty much the best a deck like this is going to get. 1 Sangan, searches everything, auto-include. I don't know why I ever considered dropping it. I'm an idiot. Phew! 11 spells, 3 Junk Box. The Morphtronic Monster Reborn. I don't think I need to explain how ridiculous this card is. It makes the OTK so easy. Yeah. 1 Machina Frontline. I tried 3 of it. I figured it doesn't really fit the pace of Morphtronics. Having 1 doesn't hurt because it baits removal cards, which is a win for me. It makes people scared to attack my guys, also a win for me. And if they do attack my guys, I replace them with whatever I want. Also a win for me. So, seems like it'll work. 1 Machine Duplication. This is one of those cards that starts getting inconsistent if you run multiples of it, especially when you're not running worthy dupe selections. I really only have 1 thing that I'm going to want to dupe on a regular basis. That being Self-On. Duping Remoten is a bit more situational, and duping Borden is practically unheard of unless I don't have any better option. So, yeah. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Giant Trunade, 1 Limiter Removal, 1 Brain Control. Those are all staples for an OTK deck with machines. Why haven't they banned Brain Control yet? Gah. 1 for 1. fetches Selfon, loads the graveyard for junk box and remote and combos. It's batshit. One Monster Gate. I really love Monster Gate in here because it can tribute off a used Selfon, clear up my field, replace it with something better, set up junk box and remote and combos even more. It's awesome. 11 traps. 3 Reckless Greed. Some of you may not like Reckless Greed, but I'm sorry to tell you, Morphtronics do not work without it. It's either you run these and have some glimmer of hope at actually winning, or you don't run these and you sit back and watch yourself get destroyed by better decks. Gah. Yeah, so I really like Reckless in here. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, Staples, 2 Dust Tornado. I love Dust Tornado. This deck is allergic to back rows, so Dust Tornado is really awesome for getting those out of the way. It also has combos in that it can set limiter removal, it can set Reckless Greed, it can set Return from the Different Dimension, which I'm also running, by the way. With all the Remotin spam, as well as Naturia Balkian, Return from the Different Dimension may as well be an automatic win. It's so great. Also really punishes people for using Bottomless Trap Hole against me. Torrential Tribute, staple. Solemn Judgment, staple. Protects that OTK setup. 1 Starlight Road. I feel 1 Starlight Road is best if you want to run any at all in a deck. It's a fairly situational card, but considering this is the kind of deck that people really like to black rose, I'm just going to say no. Slap them in the face. I'm not running Mirror Force because I can't realistically obtain a Mirror Force, and I'm finding it increasingly difficult to actually hit 2 or more monsters with it these days anyway, meaning it's just a glorified Sakuretsu armor. And we all know Sakuretsu armor sucks. Extra deck. A bunch of one-ofs. Armory Arm. The deck can make Armory Arm really easy. It's a machine. It can help buff Boomboxen or set up a really strange OTK with Colossal Fighter that someone discovered and brought up. And I'm like, wow, why did nobody ever think of that? I'll get to that in a second. Ally of Justice Cataster. I haven't dropped him much, but he's a machine, so he's basically an auto-include anyway. Naturia Beast. The Naturia synchros really kick Morphtronics up a notch. I'm not even kidding. These things offer a control factor that the deck really didn't have, and that is incredible. Goyo Guardian, Brionok, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, stable cards. No need to explain. Naturia Balkian. I love this guy! He really, really lets you drive home that OTK field because he can negate traps for practically free. Love him. Ancient Sacred Wyvern. I can make this with Scopin. It's useful on occasion when I have a big life point lead and just want to finish things. Colossal Fighter. Typical inclusion. I don't think I need to justify it. Stardust Dragon, because I'm running Starlight Road and because it's a staple. I'm not running 2 because I don't need to. Mistworm. Mistworm will probably end up getting booted for Trishula in the future, but he's here for now. 1 XX Saber Gothams, because Gothams is funny with triple remote, as well as some other strange things like remote plus opponent's Goyo that I stole with Brain Control, for example. And then Ally of Justice Decisive Arms, because this deck can feasibly make it, and it just wrecks light decks so hard. Plus it's a machine. I really liked the idea of limiter removaling this thing. It's crazy, and I am out of time, so I'm going to have to explain the thought process behind this deck later.